all around the world. And the one thing that can fight them all off is if you have a fully functioning immune system. And you take vitamins.
Oh, really? Tell that to the people who are dying from it. I guess they were all not up to your knowledge level.
They've got deficient immune systems, most of them. That's what people die from.
Oh, well, then most of the world has deficient immune systems as well. They should be worried.
Absolutely.
You're not saying we shouldn't take precautions, are you?
Fear every day of plastic bags and touching people.
Randy, you're not saying that people shouldn't take precautions to avoid contact with this virus, are you?
No, I don't think it's necessarily something where you don't you're not vigilant. But I'm not going to walk around in fear all the time of it.
No, don't be in fear. That would turn you into a liberal, wouldn't it?
That's right.
No, be a brave conservative. You should go out and buy cigars, too, and smoke, because smoking doesn't cause disease, right?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Does smoking cause disease?
Well, the things in it do, probably.
Is there a relationship between smoking, for example, and cancer?
Yeah, I think there is.
You think there is. You don't understand the science of it. You think it's all about what you think. Do you understand that there's fact-based statements rather than opinion? That not everything is a liberal or conservative opinion? Don't you understand that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, look, I give up. I give up. I just give up. You can't talk to people who don't want to hear it. Pope is telling Catholics to give up trolling for Lent. I guess that gives all the fly fishermen have to stop going fishing now. They can't go out. You can't troll on the back of your boat anymore if you're a Catholic. Is that what he means by trolling? Does he mean trolling for fish? What is the Pope talking about? For Lent, give up trolling? How do you give up trolling? What does he mean? Gossip, rumors, tittle, tattle, and speak to God on a first-name basis. How would the bouncer know about God? How would a bouncer in a cloak in the Vatican know anything about anything? He says, we live in an atmosphere polluted by too much verbal violence, too many offensive and harmful words, which are amplified by the internet. I think he insults the intelligence of the world, by the way, on a daily basis when he speaks about climate of which he knows nothing. In recent years, Francis himself has been the butt of insults from ultra-conservative Catholic websites. They're not ultra-conservative Catholic websites. They're real Catholic websites. Francis is Lenin's Pope. I got to remind you that Francis is the first non-European picked to be the Pope in 1,200 years. I reminded you of that in my book, Trump's War, where I wrote a whole chapter called Lenin's Pope. Do you understand he was handpicked by the New World Order? Do you get that? The same New World Order gave us Obama for 8 years. And I'm afraid the same NWO, working with CBS, is all in on Bernie Sanders.
The Savage Nation. It's Savage on Demand.
Bernie Sanders, the naked, filthy, degenerate, soapbox communist who is stuck in the past, does not even wear an American flag pin on their left coat lapel. He wears a little Senate pin to make sure he doesn't have to say anything that glorifies America and the flag. How could you people not see who this beady-eyed Bolshevik is? That's not a bad name for a beady-eyed Bolshevik. Have you seen his eyes? The crazy eyes? This is not crazy Bernie. This is dangerous Bernie, who is using his parents' religion of Jewishness as a weapon against anyone who would attack him for fear of being, oh, you're an anti-Semite. No, I'm not an anti-Semite, Bernie. Well, yes, you are. No, he's using his religion as a weapon. The man hadn't been in a synagogue his entire life. 2 years ago, he discovered he was Jewish because it worked for him. Even Occasional Cortex 2 years ago discovered she had some Jewish blood, she said. Did you see that one? Incidentally, in the next segment, you're never going to believe who we have on. We have Miguel Hernandez on, who you never heard of. He's just a super in a building in New York, a union member. But guess what? He's going to run against Occasional Cortex for Congress. Miguel Hernandez, an ordinary man, is going to try and unseat this communist Occasional Cortex. He's running as a Republican. Can you believe this? He's going to run here in America against this girl, bartender. And I want to find out what his chances are. I hope the Democrats redistrict her district and throw her out of Congress and send her back where she belongs, which is to Cuba. She'd be very popular in Cuba, but she'd be one of millions. She'd be nothing different than the members of the brigades that work for the Castro brothers in Cuba. She is clearly like the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia. I have Julie from San Fran, who grew up under the Khmer Rouge, who says the Dems resemble communists. Julie, I know that. Julie, you know I'm one of the few people in the media who's been talking about the Khmer Rouge for years. I do understand the danger we are in, Julie. Trust me, I am not alone.
Michael Savage, a host like no other.
Welcome back to the Savage Nation. Before we go to our guest, Miguel Hernandez, who's going to run against the Occasional Cortex, I have to say this. The president is going to speak about the coronavirus in about an hour and a half. I don't know who his advisors are, but if they've told him to say there's no danger, no threat, don't worry, it's just media hype, they're not doing him a service. They're doing him a grave disservice. Because at this point, we don't know what is liable to happen as this disease marches through our nation. And he's going to put himself on the edge of a plank. He shouldn't do that. My advice would be to come out and say, while it's not as dangerous as some are saying, we in America, and especially the CDC and the government, are taking it very seriously. We're doing everything we can. That's the approach to take. Not to say it's no threat at all. I don't know who his advisors are on this, but, you know, in every administration, there are Brutuses. I've seen it throughout my career in radio. I've seen Brutuses on local, state, and national levels. I saw it happen to Bob Dole when an advisor told him to go on a treadmill in an undershirt that killed his campaign. I saw it happen to Frank Jordan here in San Francisco when he ran for mayor, and some idiot advisor told him to go in a shower with a soap of dope on his neck. That was the end of his campaign. There are Brutuses within every administration. That's my opinion. Now let's go to Miguel Hernandez, who's kind enough to join us. We have someone who's going to run against Occasional Cortex. Mr. Hernandez, welcome to the Savage Nation. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, Michael, how you doing? I really want to thank you for hosting me in your show.
Look, Miguel, I tell you, you got a lot of nerve to run against her because she's very, very popular. Can you really beat her?
I can beat her easily. She has no clue, no idea what she's doing. She's missing in action, and the district is crumbling. And according to the numbers, she's only favorable 13%, and she won 13% of the vote.
Miguel, you're a lifetime resident of the Bronx. I grew up on Longfellow Avenue, by the way. It was a long time ago. So, you know, you can take a boy out of the Bronx, but you can't take the Bronx out of the boy. But I watched this go on. She's a phony through and through. She's not from the Bronx, is she?
No, she's from Westchester, and I can't believe that she got in. I mean,
how does she get away with making believe she's from the poor and the working people when she grew up in an architect's home in Westchester? Are you going to tell people that when you're running? I hope you are.
Yeah, I'm going to tell people because we need to take the mask out of her, her face to show people who she really is.
Now, you're look, people say what you are a superintendent of a 14-story high-rise on Madison and 81st, but you're also, and people should know this, a licensed electrical contractor, a licensed plumbing contractor, you own your own construction company, and you just built a brand-new pharmaceutical manufacturing plant in New Jersey. Is that true?
Yes, it's called Binkin Pharma. We're having a problem with penicillin. Right now we have the coronavirus, and the coronavirus is taking foothold in this country. And the medication, the penicillin, comes straight from China. Right now, China has a supply and demand problem. We need to make the penicillins in America. America's what we need. Well,
they're not using penicillin to treat coronavirus, but you make a good point. I covered it last Friday on the show. How many people are running against Occasional Cortex for this next election? You're one of them, but aren't you amongst many?
Yes, 6.
6. You're running as a Republican, though, correct?
Yes.
Can a Republican beat her in a Democrat city?
I could definitely. I am a totally blue collar person. I work hard since 12 years old. I established myself. I came out of poverty, and I can do many things that he has not done. And for sure, I know I could create jobs. I can bring companies to America. I can help the inner cities, and I can help open more manufacturers for.
Miguel, where is her money coming from? Who is backing her?
I believe according to what I'm seeing and hearing, special donor dark money comes from Soros.
Oh, no. Him again?
Him again.
The snake is behind her as well?
I mean, this snake is everywhere. This snake has been banned from 6 countries, and he's still at it.
The snake wants this communist liar to run and win again. Now, we read that the Democrat Party so despises her that they want to redistrict her. Are they going to redistrict the area?
I'm not sure if they're going to do it, but all I know is he's stepping on toes. And
yeah, I mean, we're talking about very serious party politics here, and she seems to spit in everyone's face. I don't know how she's gotten so far.
I don't know, but I can tell you one thing. I know for sure she's not going to win this election.
Okay. Well, I hope you win. I mean, you're the real McCoy, and you're running as a Republican. You're a real businessman. You're a real American success story. Do you want to say something in Spanish to the many Spanish-speaking audience members I have, Miguel? Is there anything you want to say?
Quiero decirle a todos ahí en el español que yo estoy corriendo contra Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Yo no voy a tomar los pasos que ella toma de bebés, sino yo voy a tomar pasos de adultos. Yo voy a luchar por ustedes. Yo voy a lograr metas. Yo voy a ayudar a ustedes en su futuro y el futuro de los...
Hey, Miguel, are you from Puerto Rico? Where are you from?
My parents are from Puerto Rico, but I was born in the United States.
No, but I love your accent. You know, I love the differences in accents around America, whether it's in English or in Spanish. And your accent, I mean, I grew up in New York, so I understand Puerto Rican Spanish more than I do Mexican Spanish, although I've been living in California so long. You know, Mexican Spanish is almost a different language, isn't it?
But it's almost a different language, but I understand. I understand very well what they're speaking, saying.
Yeah, but the dialect is so different. Miguel, we here at the Savage Nation, how many of us listen to you in New York on the podcast or elsewhere, are all behind you, and we think that you're going to have a real good shot at taking this district back from this evil, evil, evil plant of this internationalist George Soros. Never forget the name, Miguel Hernandez, because I think you're going to be hearing a lot about him in the future.
Yeah, another thing I want to say, we also got to save this country from socialism, communism. Right now, it's trying to take a foothold in this country, and we got to stop it at all costs.
How do people help you? Where's the campaign? How do we send money to you?
To MiguelHernandez.org. To Miguel Hernandez for Congress.
Miguel Hernandez for Congress, right?
No, Miguel Hernandez for Congress.org.
Miguel Hernandez for Congress.org. Okay, people, you heard it. Miguel, good luck, and thanks for taking the time to be with us today on the Savage Nation. It's the first you probably heard of Miguel Hernandez. It's not the last you're going to hear from him. And I hope others pick up on him and they run him on their shows. Let's go back to the coronavirus, the debate. President to hold a press conference in about an hour and a half. And I hope he doesn't make a declarative statement that he will come to regret. The influenza, by the way, has a 0.001 to 0.002 mortality rate, while coronavirus has a 0.21 mortality rate in China, which is 100 times the mortality rate of the flu. And unlike the flu, COVID-19 or corona has a 14 to 30-day transmission window before symptoms show up. There is no comparison that is being made by high school dropouts who have radio shows between the flu and the coronavirus. None whatsoever. Everyone in medicine knows this. Everyone in medicine knows this. Pamela in Tennessee on the coronavirus. Go ahead. You're on the Savage Nation.
Hi. Good afternoon, Dr. Savage.
Yes.
I wanted to call to tell you I was listening just a few moments ago when the gentleman was on speaking about a perfectly healthy immune system would fight off the virus. Well, that isn't true. According to, I believe it was listened to several radio shows during the afternoon, but I believe it was